Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In this episode, we are working towards Aougs. Aouga. We need Aougs to produce manure, and we need manure to produce urea, which gives us cyanic acid and the other thing. What's the other thing called? Cyanic acid and... ammonia, that's what it is. And we need those to produce melamine, and we need melamine to produce batteries. So, I will note, once we have Aougs, we now can have batteries. And once we have batteries, we then can have combinators. And once we have batteries and combinators, the only thing standing between us and trains is mechanical parts and all of the ingredients, because trains use a lot of the same things. So we are not that far from being able to produce trains. Now, I will say we are still pretty far from a train base because rails are pretty expensive in terms of solder, so it just takes a long time to build up enough rails and enough train stuff. And then you think about all the infrastructure you need to like load stuff into trains, set up the trains, fuel the train, you know, like it just takes a lot of resources to set all that up. So we're still very far from that, but we're not that far from like being able to construct a train. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, let's go ahead and see what we need for a bunch of Aug paddocks. We need 300 soil apiece and a bunch of bolts, which is kind of interesting. I'm just filling up on all the buildings that help me craft other buildings here. And we also, I'm basically picking up right where we left off in the previous episode. So we do need to go visit the fish hatchery, the fishery, if you will, and double check everything because we're gonna have to move modules around and stuff. So I don't know when we used up all 50 engines. I don't know how I managed that. Must have been something I was crafting needed engines. Did the fish farms need engines somehow? Oh, they sure do. 5 pumps apiece. No wonder those were so expensive. All right, so that leads us to needing a bunch of soil. And we can only make one because they need a bunch of stone too. You know, now that I'm here and there's stone on this belt, this is perfect. That's just perfect. Because we've needed stone access over here for a while, and now we have it. So I love it. I'm gonna steal some stone from you guys for now. Now we need more iron. All right, and you know, I wouldn't be a good YouTuber if I never did this, so I'm gonna do it. Let's talk about all the things that Krydax offers. Dun 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 dun. It's like the ad, you know, the ad section. Sponsored by HelloFresh. No, I wish I was sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh, if you want to sponsor me, I'm game. If you pay me. I only take paid sponsorships. The sponsorships where they only pay you if people like click your affiliate link. I don't think I'll ever do one of those because unless it's a product that I actually think you guys as viewers of this game and this series are going to want. Because I feel like the audience that you guys are is very similar to the type of person that is not the type of person that is swayed by ads. In fact, you're often infuriated by them. So like, how often are you actually, like, I don't think I've ever once clicked on an affiliate link in a YouTube video, like in my life. And I'm guessing most of you watching my videos are exactly the same. So I don't think it would ever make me any money if I only got paid from people who followed an affiliate link. So that being said, I would love a sponsorship where it's like, hey, we pay you based on the number of views your video gets, you know, like exposure. Paid for exposure, I would accept that kind of deal. But a deal where I only get paid for like, you know, actionable clicks, nope, no thanks. No thanks. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, my channel. So Crydania offers lots of wonderful things, such as a Discord channel. So if you are looking for a community to hang out in where there's a lot of people that love a lot of similar games to you, come hang out in Crydania. We have cookies. Just kidding, we don't have cookies, but we do have nice people. And if you come join Crydania, I'm sure you'll get a warm welcome, and you can talk about pyanodons with us. You can talk about, I mean, there's lots of other games that I play, so if you watch my other stuff, you know, we've played modded Minecraft. I'm playing Long War of the Chosen, which is an XCOM 2 mod right now. I'm playing through RP1, which is a Kerbal Space Program mod right now. There's all sorts of stuff going on. It's pretty great. And then, if you'd like to support me making these videos, I invite you to check out my Patreon. The Patreon is the best way to support. We're gonna get Old Gamer Scott in here, who is a patron supporter. It's the best way to support the channel because it actually allows me... Oh, I'm out of text plates. They take the smallest amount of revenue from me, right? So... things like YouTube, you know, if you do YouTube memberships or whatever, YouTube gets a huge cut. Twitch subs are nice, but I haven't really been streaming that much on Twitch these days. And, you know, Twitch subs, Twitch keeps like about half, maybe a little bit less. It depends on a couple factors, but it's around half-ish. But Patreon, you know, I keep like 90% plus of that. So it's just like directly supporting me. So all that to say, if you are interested in supporting the channel, Patreon is the best way to do it. Now, that being said, I have no expectations for anybody to financially support me. There's no pressure. By the way, thank you, Old Gamer Scott and Tom M for being patrons. But there's no pressure to support me if you don't have the money, or you don't want to spend the money, or you want to spend the money on other people's Patreons because you think they provide better perks. Those are all completely valid things. But at the same time, I do appreciate the support that my patrons offer. And if you would like to, you know, help contribute to these videos being made possible, then yeah, head over to patreon.com/Krydax. There are a few perks over there as well. I don't focus too much on the perks because I think, for the most part, Patreon is better meant as a way to just help support, kind of like a pay what you want type system, like the humble indie bundles used to be, where it's like, oh, you know, like you can pay $1 for these games, but you know, we've found marketing wise that people tend to pay more than $1. Like that sort of thing, I think works better than like, oh, I'll provide all these perks for Patreon that actually like people want to pay for. You know, like I'm not gonna lock save files behind, you know, Patreon, or I'm not gonna lock, you know, certain videos behind Patreon. If I am a full-time content creator right now, but if I ever get to the point where like I'm a lot bigger and like financially it's like, oh, like this is gonna be my job for like years and years and years, and I need to like make some different financial decisions, there's a world where I could see myself putting some videos behind Patreon, but they would never be the normal videos, right? And at this point, I'm not making non-normal videos, so none of my videos are going to be locked behind Patreon. Anyway, that being said, I like to see Patreon as just like, hey, if you guys want to help me financially make these videos, like if you think your entertainment value is worth money, then that's what Patreon's for. So that's why I don't focus too much on the Patreon perks themselves, because I don't think they end up, they don't change that much, and a lot of times it just is a huge stressor for me to like follow all of the little Patreon perks and everything. So instead I keep it a bit simpler with like the name randomizer and shout outs to new patrons. By the way, I do have a new patron shout out, a couple of them since last time. Correlated and Davey B. Thank you very much for your Patreon support. You guys are great. But that being said, you know, I don't have too many of the like crazy perks. There are a couple on the higher tiers that, you know, people don't tend to spend that much money, so I'm not too worried about doing it once in a while. But anyway, I'll stop talking about Patreon now. as always, thank you guys for just considering it. And then the third thing, oh, the podcast. Yeah, so I do a podcast called The Factory Must Grow. If you haven't seen it or heard of it, go check it out. It's on podcast services. It is obviously about factory stuff, mostly about Factorio itself, though we dive into other factory games once in a while. Like, I've had I'm Kibitz as a guest, who's a huge Satisfactory personality. We've had who else did we have that played Satisfactory mostly? I can't remember off the top of my head, but we've had a lot of Factorio people like Dosh Doshington. You know, we had Doc Jade, we've had Ryagard, we've had Bold Viking, we've had tons of people on the podcast. So yeah, go check it out. You can view the VODs if you're interested in the video part. Not all the guests have videos, so the video isn't, often it's not that much more interesting or different, but if you just would rather watch on YouTube or something, you can go to the Krydax Extra channel, and that's where the VODs are. But you can also just listen to it on your favorite podcast host. Anyway, that's all I have for the announcements. I'm just sitting here trying to get fish running. That's a good thing to do while we're talking about other stuff. Just trying to get enough modules here. I think we have enough modules there that we're gonna soon run out of. Yeah, we need more egg production now. These aren't hooked up to oxygen, I just realized. You guys were probably shouting about that in the last episode. Nor are they hooked up to saline water. I don't know how I spaced that, but I did. I was hoping that would connect. There we go. Keep it nice and symmetrical. Alright, so now those have got everything but fish eggs. So wait, how are these running? Oh, wait. They weren't. That's what happened. they weren't running. I just, you know, these had the fish eggs in them, but they weren't actually running. Okay. So that's good to go. This is making more fish eggs. Feel like we should fill this one. So now both of those can run. So now we're pretty close to done. We just need like, what, another like 14 fish or something? Actually, I think it is exactly 14 fish. That one needs 2. These both have 1, so that means 14, and we're done. Okay. So we'll come back in a few minutes for that. And yeah, back to Aug making. The question is how many? Aug many Aug paddocks do I need? We worked out that we wanted some number. Let's make a cyanic acid thing. Now the cyanic acid, we're gonna have extra ammonia because you need a lot of cyanic acid for the batteries. And so the melamine is actually a relatively small part of that cost. Which means we want to make enough for batteries first. So we kind of want to make this amount that we already mathed out. Okay. And we need freaking lamps for the Zogna. Classic Zogna bacteria. Alright, sweet. So we need 10 moss farms, 10 Aug paddocks. And then we need to set up a reproduction loop for Aug pups so that those build up over time. So let's start with that. Reproductive complex. We've already got 4 Aug paddocks. The first Augs need biosample seed. We need bear DNA samples. I think I need another data array since we've already used the one for automation. I need more glass. And we also need some more iron. And aluminum. Alright, so let's grab some glass. Where? Oh, I just walked right past it. It's down here. Alright, there's glass. Data array. Now we're out of titanium. I should grab some of that. And then what else? Data array to get the bear DNA samples. Just needs a bunch of Aug codices. We need some more tin plates, which I never set up, by the way. There's still no tin plates on the east side, which is kind of bad. We're gonna have to fix that at some point. For now, I'm just gonna run over here and grab some tin. Oh no, do I not have tin in a chest? Oh, I do. Okay. I'm gonna let that build up to way more, though. Alright. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 Aug codices. Is that enough? That gets us 1 bear DNA sample, which gets us 1 Aug. What I can't remember, unfortunately, is someone mentioned it in a comment that we do only need 1, but I seem to remember that being called a bug officially by the Pi people, which means so I don't know what to believe at this point is what I'm saying. Do we need 1 Aug or do we need 2 to run the reproductive complex? If we only need 1, then maybe I just make 1. So we're gonna need to grab some cDNA and some biosamples. Look at that, 28 cDNA. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So 3 cDNA. Hold on, let me just double check we're gonna be able to do this. Because to make the Aug pups, yeah, we just need to run a reproductive complex, and we can make as many pups as we want. And then to grow the pups ups, all we need to do is throw the pups into an Aug paddock with 1 Aug, and that will run. So that should all work fine, assuming the reproductive complex can run with 1 Aug, which I'm still not really certain about. But we need biosamples, bear DNA, and bear DNA. Automation science pack. Grab some of those. Okay. My inventory, by the way, is a nightmare. We're gonna need to do something about that. Wait, we need codices twice? Come on, man, that's just rude. 5 for a bear DNA, and then for the actual Aug, we need 1 more. Okay. There's 1 more. And then what are you missing? You're just missing a couple of these. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're okay. We're okay. It's just very slow. Alright, so there's our bear DNA sample. We need 2 more generic earths. Oh, I love that I can hit Z now for that instead of right click. Aug codex in a few biosamples. We need 5. Hey guys, I never put biosamples in here. That's bad. Oh, we need more flora. That's part of the problem. The one thing I will say about these flora extractors is that it's really hard to see where they actually are. You know, like you almost have to do something like this to see the boundaries, because the posts of one kind of blend in with the posts of another. All right. Yeah, because that needs 1.5 to keep up. All right, anyway, we need a few biosamples which got stolen by... Yeah, biosamples are actually a problem right now. Partially because so many of them are tied up in these generic Earth DNA samples. Which... I think I'm gonna change to not have a whole chest worth of backing up. It'll just be this belt, and then it'll be done backing up. Because we don't need that many generic Earth DNA samples. 100 is actually too many, I think. Why do I even have them in here? They're not part of cDNA. Why are... What? What? Why? Why are these in here? Does anybody know? Does anybody know why these are in here? Because I don't. They're only used in the starting animal recipes. Why did I put them in the caravan? Was I gonna deliver them somewhere? I have no memory of why these are in here. Leave a comment if you remember why I did that, because I sure don't. Anyway, that's still running. That takes 5 ever. We're gonna need water over here. So let's do that. And then, yeah, we're about to get our first Aug. Our first little Augie poo. You know what I never did is take a screenshot for the last episode. So let me do that. It's official. And while that finishes, or wait, this is gonna be another 5-minute recipe, isn't it? Yeah. I'll wait until this one's done. And then we'll go get our fish modules set up for the final time. Run some laps while we wait. Doo-doo-doo. So... with batteries, what else do we need to be thinking about? Most of the cost is Aougs, but we're gonna need lead antimony alloy, some iron for the bolts, some coke for the graphite, glass, and zinc. That's not bad. I mean, we've already set up the lead antimony alloy over here. It's not fast enough, though, for the amount that I have here. Interesting. Now, another thing to note is we're going to need more Aougs. So wherever I set up my Aug pasture, we want it to be expandable past the, 10 that we're setting up now. All right, here we go. Aug number 1 on the way. Hopefully that's the only one we need. We shall test and find out. And see if Aougs can self-replicate or if they need the jazz music for other reasons. All right. Let us head back to the fish farm. And grab 10, and that should be enough. Finish this out. Perfect. All right. Well, that feels good. Fishies are automated. So that means I probably don't want 90 fish eggs on here. Because they're already building up this, so we probably only want like 20. And that just means we get less spoilage over time. 20's not enough. Well, is it? These have a runtime of 2.5 minutes. So I'm just trying to think, like, if we only have 20 on the belt, if all 4 of these were to finish at the same time, they're going to be hungry for 40 more fish eggs. And so and they're only going to be backed up to like here. So it'll release 20. It'll take, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to flow around to these ones. So I think we're fine with just 20, but I'll bump it up to like 30. But that should be more than fine, I think. Sweet. All right, fish are fully automated. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a deposit. Put all that in. We're gonna grab a, what size tank? Maybe one of these guys for fish oil. Probably doesn't need to be this big, but it'll be fine. And then we'll start storing up the fish oil so that we have enough when we want to make things like pyanodons. Come on. There we go. Cool. Back to the Aougs. It's crazy that I walk as fast as a car drives on this asphalt. Next time, for Pi Season 4, which who knows when that will be, I think I need to plan these highways from the beginning of the game. It certainly has been nice, but what I need to do is start the game and use stone brick as a highway, and then if I want to stone brick the rest of the base, I'll need to figure something else out. But like, I needed to have built around these so that it could just be one big straight line, you know, and then that way and then I could drive cars on it too, because I would keep it empty. Anyway, wow, we're still not done with this. It really does take 5 ever. Okay, so then the thing we're gonna need to do is moss and flora. It's kind of like what we're doing for Vraukipoos. I could just extend the production of moss here a bit more, and we could use the same moss supply. And then we could come down here, and then the flora supply could also be used. So that's an option. Alright, are you done? Almost. Why don't we get rid of our inventory as well? Yay! The first Aug. All right, we need to get rid of a lot of crap here. I'm hoping. Most of this is stuff we don't want in our inventory anyway, so if I can get rid of all that. I did want the steel. Everything else is trash. All right, let's see. Let's see what this Vrauk can do. So there's not even room to place this building here. Oh, there is. Wow, look at that. Just slots in perfectly. So if I say Aug pups, and then I grab just a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a few water barrels. I'll just steal from the belt here. And we put in that, and then we grab a couple more water barrels because we need 5. It works! Okay. There you have it. So, of course it doesn't fit. That's so inconvenient. I was just gonna slide it right up there, but no. No, that doesn't work. Oh, I just depowered it by moving it. So what's the play here? I think the play is a couple more moss farms. Because it's just so easy to extend right here. If we have soil. That is. Which I have all the way up here. What is going on? We're full of stone. I mean, we've got moss, we've got a Vrau cocoon, we've got jerky, we've got empty barrels now, random optical sets. Good gravy. But honestly, my inventory's not that bad. Which is the scary part. Alright. Oh, I need more stone brick. I don't need to pick that up very often, stacking to 1,000, but we are all out. By the way, I think we have enough concrete. And why are we not getting any Oh. Oh, this is just an iron plate supply issue. Let me go fix that. I didn't realize we didn't actually have refined concrete automated, but there's no iron over here. Okay. So there's that. Let's go grab some stone brick, which is hiding somewhere in the base around here. Right here. Wow, I didn't even limit this? That was silly of me. Alright, stone brick is now had, and I was crafting more moss farms. Perfect. And for whatever reason, they are happy to put in the moss modules right now, and I still don't understand why sometimes they are and other times they aren't. Seems to be a bit obtuse to me. But what do I know? I'm just the Zen gardener, here to tend to my crops. The funny part is that's not enough moss. We need 10. So maybe this was pointless because this is, I only added 6. Kind of funny. I'm like just now realizing how that might have been completely pointless to do. But either way, we're gonna bring the moss down to over here. And we'll also have the flora come over here. We're gonna need to make a bunch of barrels for this, which is a thing, I guess. I'm gonna leave some space between this and the fish build. I think we'll do moss on one side, flora on the other, so that we don't have to worry about any issues there. We don't have to use 2 belts. Now, this is tricky. I need a lot of flora. Like a lot. But I don't want to use a splitter because now we've messed up measuring this whole belt. And I don't want to deal with wires going all the way down there. Yet another reason to use the signal transmission mod. But I don't know if I want to use that mod because those buildings are huge and they take a ton of power. Like, what I'd prefer is if I could just use regular radars and have channels. I haven't actually searched. I'm gonna do a search right now on the mod portal. Radar channel mod Factorio. Let's see what we get. Nothing. Radar signals? That's not really it. Output signals for selected filters when placed near a radar. Oh, adds a new entity called a radar signal combinator. When placed next to a radar, it will output the amount of entities found in the visible area as a signal. So that would be to like detect biters and stuff. Well, that's a cool mod. I don't think it's what we want right now. Anyway, sorry, that was a distraction. Anyway, we need to grab how many? We said up to 4 a second. So 4 inserters should do it. These inserters are so fast, they look like they're cheating. It's really funny. It looks like hacks. Speed hacks. Now, how many did we need for Vraux? 1.25. So belt-sidedness still doesn't matter. But we could use both sides of the belt. It's a high enough rate that I'm not too worried about it. How long, by the way, is this gonna last? That one's not gonna last that long, but if no, what is this? 35,000 an hour? So 10 hours is 350,000. 100 hours is 3.5 million. Okay, yeah, we're fine. We're gonna last 400 hours at this rate of depletion. But I actually want to change this to be 600. Because 4 per second means the belt needs to be about a third. Well, it's kind of like 5 per second. So the belt needs to be about a third saturated, which means the total number of tiles is 20, 100, 150-ish. Plus another 20. It's like we're gonna need 150 times 15 is 2,000. A third saturated is, I mean, 600 is not a bad ballpark actually. Believe it or not. But then the floor is gonna back up on this belt. Whatever. If we get fluorospilinin, we get fluorospilinin. What am I doing? Dummy. This is the belt. Sorry, I shouldn't call myself a dummy. A Zen garden is too peaceful for calling people dummies. They're stealing all of it. Stop it. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting some through. Okay, and then that's gonna back up. And then the moss is gonna come down, which for now we're just gonna put in a splitter. Yes, I realize this is not enough moss. No, I'm not gonna fix it right now. Because there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. And a temporary solution is very effective. They are both true. Alright, so this is where we make the Aug pops. And we just, I mean, this is a simple thing here. I do need a barreler. And we're gonna need, set it up here at the bottom because I'm probably gonna attach it to some other things too, but we just need the water. Already full again. I did the thing. Advanced fluid handling still hasn't fixed that deleting fluids bug, which is really not my favorite bug. We'll just say that. But someday it'll get fixed. And we need a filter on empty barrel. And then that does that. I guess I could do this. And then we can do that. And we can do that. Save ourselves an inserter. Empty barrel. Full barrel. Oh, that's a blue. Blue is for fluids. Hey guys. This is not one of the building. Look, the reason I did that, I realized it was dumb, but at least, because there's now a lot of buildings that they've changed in Pi to just auto output their solid ingredients, like the soil extractors. They've done that, and so for whatever reason I was like, oh, it auto outputs the barrels. Cool. And then I realized I'm stupid. All right, it does not do that. So you're gonna make a bunch of Aug pups here, and then we'll need an Aug paddock that will work on augifying these pups. Or augification. I guess we should collect on the bottom because that's where the barrels are going to be. Man, these are even bigger than rock paddocks, aren't they? They are by one tile. They feel a lot bigger. They're only 1 by 1 bigger. But they're just freaking huge, man. Freaking huge. You need a filter Aug pup. And then you're gonna grow these little pups ups into full-grown Aougs. It's just fun to say Aug. Aug. This is gonna need to be like some sort of situation with a belt. And then we're gonna need some sort of situation with a filter on empty barrel. Heading back there. And then we're gonna need some more barrels. 35 barrels, probably enough for this little closed system. right, so we've got plenty of pups. So now we need to staff. We need to staff the actual Aug enclosure so that we can grow some pups. Sweet! We've made some good progress in this episode. We've got Aougs going. Now, it's going to take forever. That's why we're starting it now. Alright, I think that's enough barrels. And then it grows 4 pups into 2 to 4 Aougs each time. So once this finishes its first recipe, which is going to take, surprisingly, only about 3 minutes, then we will have 2 to 4 Aougs, so we can get this one started again, put the rest in here, and then we should be off to the races. So now it's just a matter of crafting a few more Aug paddocks. So let's go get that done, and then maybe we'll call that an episode. Our fish are good to go, right? I don't have to do anything here. Yeah, that is correct. Are they all running? Yep, all 8 are running. It's a good feeling. How's power these days? I just keep adding more systems. Got about 220 megawatts. So we're okay for a while. Still. What did we say we can do? 550, 600 megawatts? Something like that. Alright, so we need soil. 2, 3. That's only enough for 2 paddocks. Goodness. More. 3. 2 more. That gets me to 7. Oh, inventory sorting is on. I just realized that. It must be the picker extended mod or one of the other ones doing that. Yeah. Alright, that's 8. 9. 10. And I'll build 2 extras, because you should. Oh, and we're out of IMs. Spicy. Oh my gosh. Alright, that was a lot of stone and soil. Man, they need a lot of dirt. They need a lot of dirt. But that gets me 12. Aug paddocks. Am I gonna do a 2x6 or am I gonna do a 3x4? The problem with 3x4 is there's no clean way to belt it, whereas with 2x6, it is a lot cleaner to belt. So I'll probably do 2x6. Which is fine, I guess. The best part about the Aougs is you don't need the reproductive complexes as part of the loop. Once you set up the initial loop to just farm up Aougs, it's like sap trees, you know? You only need enough sap trees to run everything and then you're good to go. And it's the same thing here. So we can get our reproductive complex going and get those going, and this will just loop back and forth. This does need a filter blacklist on empty barrel. Okay, this is on the verge of being too full. We'll add some squiggles. Alright. And then the flora is going to spoil hardcore on this belt, which is fine. They're called Spallinen. Flora Spallinen. When do I start to care about doing this? Because all we have to do is spend some electricity and water to get 75% of it recycled. That's pretty nice. I probably will just do this at some point. And then I don't have to worry about handling it. It does produce a little bit of biomass, but we can delete that by doing what? No, just kidding. We're not gonna use hot air. Yeah, you can just flue gas. We can do it, well, those are huge, aren't they? We can high pressure furnace it into ash. We could use it as fuel to make the steam that we use to reprocess the fluorospelenin. Eventually, we can just turn it into carbon dioxide, but not yet. For now, this is all we can do, I think. All right, and we've got the Aug production process running at full speed ahead, which is not that fast. 2 Augs a minute. 120 Augs an hour. Oh, that's fine. We only need 4 per thing. So that's only 24 minutes to fill all of our enclosures. Easy. Assuming we get enough pups, which, yeah, we're good. All right, sweet. Well, we're going to call that an episode. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.